All right, I want to thank everybody for tuning into a special edition, SCSportsWorld.com. Luther Dupree, Claudio, Smoke, and Jim. Yo, we got a great show. It's a boxing special, and this is something we're going to do. We're going to start publishing our own top 10 because the ESPN, the Ring magazine, it's total garbage, it's biased, and it doesn't make any sense. So, that being said, we did our all-time top 10 pound for pound. So, I want to start everybody off. I'll start with you, Jim.
No, you can start with you.
We're going 10. Who's your 10? Claudio, then I'll do my 10. Who's your 10th fighter all-time pound for pound?
I never got the memo, so I didn't do one, but...
Well, Claudio, you go while you think about it.
Let me give all guys?
Just give 10, I'll give my 10, and maybe Jim will figure something out by then.
It was hard to not put Jack Dempsey and Jack Johnson in there. Ooh. But even though he beat the hell out of Willard with that railroad spike in his hand, he kept getting up and kept knocking him down. You talk about taking a punch. But I'm going to start off with Larry Holmes, number 10. Larry Holmes was all business in the ring, great jab, never out of shape, fought hard, got knocked down by guys like Shavers and Mike Weaver, and he got back up, and he had some wars. We had a nice war with Ken Norton when he won the belt. I got to go with Larry Holmes. Number 9, Henry Armstrong.
Well, let's do the 10. All right, so
okay, I'm sorry.
Larry Holmes.
Okay.
My 10, I had Jack Johnson. What he went through, I just think he was a top guy. I mean, back then, you look at the boxing matches then, there was a lot of grabbing, holding, and hitting. It was a different thing. But I just think he was just a dominant guy back then. Mm-hmm. You know, he would fight, run around with white women, which was illegal at that time, and get arrested. And he didn't care. He was just a bruiser, big, strong guy.
Married a white woman.
Yeah, married one or two of them.
For it.
Yeah, went to jail for it. So I just think he's number 10.
I'm waiting for him to say something.
Jim, who do you have as your number 10? I know you're a boxing historian. Who do you have as your number 10 fighter?
I'd have to think about it.
Well, you got to think. You got the same
Number
email
10
as us.
Number 10
all-time pound for pound.
Greatest, number 10?
Yeah, that's usually what we mean.
I don't know.
All right, let's go with 9. See, this is why you got to check the material. Who you have for number 9?
Armstrong.
Maybe Henry Armstrong?
Henry Armstrong, yeah.
Okay.
Different weight classes. Again, back in those days when they didn't fight twice a year. These guys used to fight 7, 8, 9 times a year, and they fought wars. And again, he fought different weight classes, and he was quick, and he had some power to him, and he had a hell of a chin. So and he fought until his old age, and so I'm going with Henry Armstrong.
Okay. And my number 9, I'm going with Big George Foreman. 76 wins, only 5 losses. He would be higher, but he took a decade off. Right. He'd definitely be higher. I mean, the way he used to throw those punches, man, he just used to wind up, power, much like Deontay Wilder, but not as fast. But he would brutalize a lot of guys. Every time he came back, it seemed like he would lose and then get real disappointed and stop. Right. You know, after Ali sat out, came back, won 5, lost again, and sat out. But the fact that he was able to come back at 38, we just talked about it earlier. We had Zab Judah come back at 41. He ended up in the hospital, blood on the brain, almost didn't make it. Foreman was fighting young bulls, knocked out Michael Moore, 40 years old. I mean, it's just amazing what he did. 45, right.
Let me ask you guys a question. I think we've talked about it on the show before.
I wish I got a CC on the email.
You got the same one that Claudio. I didn't send him a special one.
Which Foreman was better? I'm going to ask, well, we'll get to Muhammad later. Which Foreman was better, the 70s Foreman or the 90s, late 80s Foreman?
90s.
I tell you why I think the older Foreman, because he was in better shape, he was smarter, his punches were a lot tighter. He wasn't swatting like Ali used to make fun of him. He was a lot shorter with his punches, and he used to stand in between the rounds. He was never out of shape, even though he may have looked out of shape. I think the older Foreman would have beaten the younger Foreman.
Boxing IQ, yes, the older Foreman, but that young George Foreman was a bull, man. They thought he was going to kill Ali.
Yeah,
in the ring.
I know.
And
he almost killed Frazier.
The old Foreman,
but
the young
Frazier.
one, when he knocked him up with that left hook, knocked him off the ground.
I remember watching it with my mom.
Boxing IQ, I go with the old one, but the young one, That
Well,
youngin was a
the
monster.
boxing IQ had nothing to do with
It was
it. The
just,
difference,
what was it?
well, the difference between the young Foreman and the old Foreman, the reason the
Boxing
older
IQ.
Foreman would have beat him is because the young Foreman had some quit in him. He quit against Ali.
He quit or did he get knocked out?
No, he
He
quit.
got knocked
Yeah,
out.
He quit. Yeah, he quit. Yeah, he quit.
He quit?
Yeah,
It looked like he got knocked out. To me.
Yeah, it looked like he
he
quit.
gassed out, like your boy Anthony Joshua gassed out. And that's what happened. There's a difference between quitting and gassing out. Joshua quit on standing up. Gassing out, getting knocked out is different to me. But that's my number 9. Who do you have for number 8 since Jim is sitting this one out? Feel
Most
free
people-
to jump in anytime, Smoking Joe.
Most people are going to think I have him too low, but
Who's that?
Joe Louis. I have him number 8. Obviously held the title longer than anybody. Of course, they also tagged with him was the Bum of the Month Club. But
Are these all heavyweights you guys
no.
are doing?
No.
Okay.
Oh, Henry Armstrong's
All-time,
not a-
pound for pound, top 10. So you jump in.
I was wondering.
But
You could jot
Henry
something down
Armstrong
real
wasn't a
quick.
heavyweight.
My fault.
Come on.
So I have number 8, Joe Louis.
Okay. All right. My number 8, I have Marvelous Marvin Hagler. You know,
Boy, he was close to. I'm getting out.
I had 62
Is this top
wins,
10 or
3
top 50?
Top 10. Come on, quit hating on my list. You didn't do the list because you knew we would have ate it up. Marvelous Marvin Hagler was just a beast. He lost early in his career, and then once Sugar Ray beat him, he finally retired. I mean, the wars that he had with Hearns, that was toe-to-toe.
Did he get beat by
don't forget-
Antifermo?
Right, those were wars. Vito and Affirma, those were wars.
Antifermo beat you in
Those was
tough.
Those
Yeah,
was
he's working
early
on
in
the
his
Italian
career,
guys
though.
again.
Weren't that was earlier in his career. He didn't. It was earlier. Yeah, earlier, middle. But he didn't develop.
He was bald then. What do you mean
He was
early?
bald since he was 20. That means nothing, man. He's definitely my number 8 of all time. Very effective. He dominated that division for years. Had some wars. People questioning the Sugar Ray Leonard and his fight. You know, I give him number 7. I mean, he was a solid guy. 52 KOs.
You have number 8.
Number 8.
He'll join like top 4, top 5.
You could do the top 4. You could do the top 3 at least,
All right,
Jim.
number
Right?
7.
That's easy.
Guillermo Papelo, Willie Pep. Nobody's
Yeah.
ever going to win. I think he
Yeah,
won
you're right.
241 fights.
Yeah.
Well, nobody's going to ever
No,
do that.
you're right.
And they still, some boxers today, you may hear the cornermen say, and I know they did it with Vinny Paz, Willie Pep, which was hit but don't get hit. Willow the Wisp. I mean, the guy didn't get hit much. And again, world titleist for many years. Again, a great, I don't want to say scientific, technician in the ring, quick hands, good feet, good head movement. So I got to put him up there. 241 wins. Like I said, nobody's ever going to
I
touch
agree.
that.
I agree with
I
that.
got Sugar Ray number 7. Man.
Sugar Ray who?
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Okay, Ray Say.
Sugar Ray
Say.
Robinson's way higher than that.
Okay.
But I got Sugar Ray Leonard, 36 wins, 3 losses or so. Exciting fighter. He would get in your head. Muhammad Ali and him, they were the best to me about getting in your head. They were exciting, flashy in the ring.
Sure was.
Man, and he was underrated. His power, I think, was underrated.
Very much so.
I mean, he could do everything in the ring. He was fluid. He showed heart. Coming back after Duran almost took out his eyeball. I mean, he came back and made Duran quit. So I'm very impressed with Sugar Ray Leonard.
Anybody
Man,
white?
that Sugar name.
Anybody white on your list?
Of course, it's coming. It's coming.
Anybody
It's-
Italian on your list?
Of course.
All right.
Of course. But no, Sugar Ray Leonard was just a beast out there. I mean, I'm just very, I loved his style, man. He was really exciting.
What'd you think of his chin?
You could hit him a little bit, but he had the heart to come back, man.
Olympic gold medalist.
He didn't have the greatest chin, but I think he was solid. He had
Olympic
heart.
gold medalist.
Yeah, there you go back with that Olympic stuff. We're not talking about the Olympics. This is the pros, pound for pound. All right, let's jump up to number 6.
You have a 6?
You have a 6? You can do your top 6, Jim.
I don't want to leave nobody out.
Oh, my
Number 6 for me is Roberto Duran. If you watch him against Ken Buchanan, man, I don't know if anybody was as upset when I never seen anybody so mad when he fought that fight, and so quick. I mean, his feet, his hands, his head, everything that night. But he did that a lot of times, obviously. But that particular night,
Is that where he went after the guy's corner too?
you know what I think it might
okay.
be? Yeah, he was just all fired up that night. And again, but his power went up with him.
Yeah.
When he was lightweight, middleweight, super middleweight. When Vinny Paz fought him twice, Vinny said he never was hit like he was against Roberto Duran.
Yeah.
And his chin, again, Vinny could hit. Vinny hit an older Duran. I think it was like 43, 44. Vinny said, I had my weight on my back leg, and I great weight shift, and I hit Duran with everything I had. And I knew he was going to go down, and Duran didn't budge. And it's, oh, my God. By the way, there was a big rivalry. They fought 2 times, right? Now Vinny's training Roberto Duran Jr. Yeah, so they're all friends now. So number 6.
He let his son fight.
Yeah. So number 6 for me is Roberto Duran.
Number 6 for me, Julio Cesar Chavez, 105 wins. I think he doesn't get enough credit. Yes, he got a gift against Pernell Whitaker. He lost that fight. He lost that fight. But look at his record.
Taylor.
Hector Camacho, Meldrick Taylor, Roger Mayweather. He was a beast. I mean, you know, a lot of heart. He didn't duck anybody. 105 fights, 80 KOs. Very underrated fighter. Had all the skills. A lot of heart. Fought to the 12th. Couple of those fights he was losing, but got guys out. Meldrick Taylor, for one.
Yeah.
Got him out in the 12th round, needed a knockout, much like Wilder, and got that knockout.
Good job. Looks
very
like you pulled,
underrated. I have him number 6.
Looks like you pulled that right off the internet, but congratulations.
I saw his whole career on HBO. Smoking Jim, quit hating. Where's your list? All right, then.
We got 5.
Can you go 5, Smoking Jim?
I don't want to leave nobody out.
Jim, did you get any?
I didn't get no email. I thought we were doing the Steel
text.
City Sports World.
It was a text.
It was you responded to it.
Huh?
You responded to the text. Anyway, number 5.
So did Mike.
Where's he? At least he's here. Okay, number 5, a guy who I think could have beaten anybody in the heavyweight division was George Foreman. Like I said, the young George Foreman, the old George Foreman. I mean, I was a huge fan, especially the second version of George. Had a hell of a chin. I mean, that's what I'm saying. When Ali knocked him down, his first reign, I don't think nobody did knock him down. And Evander pounded the hell out of him. He hit him with 18 consecutive unanswered shots. And Evander could hit.
Yeah.
Tommy Morrison lit him up. Shannon Briggs lit him up. Alex Stewart blasted him. Michael Moore didn't, hit any big shots, but a bunch of cumulative shots. George Foreman had, again, I always say him and Marciano had 2 of the best chins ever. So I'm going to say George Foreman, number 5. Big punch. Angelo Dundee said if you have a big punch and you can take a punch, you have a shot.
So you agree with me that the George Foreman that fought Ali quit? So because he got a great chin, So you agree with me? Did Ali ever hit him? But he just got out.
But I don't think. I mean, that's what gives me the second reign of Foreman better than the first one. So George Foreman, number 5 for me.
I got Rocky right here, number 5. I got him number 5, American boxer who was just reigned 49-0. 49-0 because of the tragic accident, but he had some notables. I did think he fought a lot of the guys at the tail end of the career. That's why I put him at number 5. It's a fact. It's a fact. Hey, but he's number 5 all time. I mean, he was exciting. What he did to Joe Louis was pretty bad. I didn't like seeing it, but he
didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it. That was his idol,
and
he tore it up.
In his locker room after the fight. It was the trainer and Rocky. That's it. And Rocky took care of him when Joe Louis had his issues too.
I know Rocky.
That's a shame that
I know Rocky didn't want to do it, but he sure did it.
He sure punished him like he wanted to.
He didn't like it.
A lot of just like Jim's best friends.
Oh yeah, you're my best friend.
You're my best friend.
Lousy coach.
Let me rip you apart. But Rocky's definitely he's in my top 5. Amazing fighter, a lot of heart, knocked everybody out, and I wish I could have seen his career even, get to completion. He might have been higher on my list, but definitely a solid number 5. You have a top 5?
Rocky retired. What do you mean?
Well, he retired.
He retired
several years later.
Several years later. You're right. Then he died.
But really, they should have given him 50 because of the computer fight.
He would have come back. Smoker Jim. No,
like you said, the computerized fight.
That's right. That's number 50.
Jim, do you have a top 5?
I don't want to leave nobody out.
If they give
everybody's going to lose somebody out.
If they give Mayweather 50 for that fight in McGregor, they should give Rocky 50 for fighting Ali.
They gave him 51 for fighting that little midget overseas. That was an exhibition.
Okay.
But still, he fought 3 exhibitions to get over 50.
Right.
Berto, Corner, and this guy, that little guy.
I like to go to Mayweather's club.
Go
He didn't want to leave anybody
before
out.
it goes bankrupt.
Yeah, really. Number 4 is Sugar Ray Robinson.
Ooh.
Who everybody says is the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of all time. Had a lot of losses. Wow. He did fight different weight classes. Was skilled. You talk about Duran, how fast he was with his hands and feet. I got to go with Sugar Ray Robinson, number 4.
Ooh, wow, that's so low. Wow.
Really?
That's very okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll get to it.
He's my number 1, Sugar Ray Robinson.
Okay, well at least you could jump in there, huh? Right. At least you could jump in there. Well, my number 4 got to be Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Yeah.
50-0. I didn't like his style later on in his career. He had weak hands, but he still found a way to win. He destroyed the Canelos. He fought everybody. Oscar, everybody with a name. Sugar Shane. He made it, fought him on the tail end of the career like a Rocky, but he still got out there and punished him, did everything he needed to do. I wish I would have saw some more knockout power once he moved up to welterweight.
Can I ask you a question?
But he's a little guy.
Can I ask you a question?
What? What's your question, sir?
Who was better, Money Mayweather or Pretty Boy Floyd? Who would have won?
There you go.
No, I'm just saying, who would have won? I mean, they were two completely different fighters.
I like Pretty Boy. I like Pretty Boy because he would finish guys.
Yeah.
You know, but it was a smaller weight class. When he moved up, his power didn't transfer.
Right.
So he didn't have the power to knock out these guys. He came up with a style, you know, throw the right hand, but he didn't knock out anybody.
Well,
at the
he held his
welterweight.
hands. He wasn't going to knock nobody
He
out
had
with that.
weak hands,
Yes,
but at the lower level, he could handle it.
I mean, even Floyd Money Mayweather, if he's 135 pounds, he wasn't knocking a whole lot of people out with his style. It was a defensive style.
Pretty Boy was knocking a lot of
That's what I'm
guys
saying.
out.
Pretty Boy was different than
because
Money.
that was most of
He
Pretty
was
Boy was at
aggressive.
the lower weight.
No, but he
Most
was
of
aggressive too, and he was fast and he could hit hard. I thought Pretty Boy was a much better fighter than Money Mayweather, in my opinion.
All right, well you like mixing these guys. It's the same person, but you like doing a bipolar thing where
You think-
Pretty Boy's this guy. It's
You
the
think
same
Muhammad
guy, Jim.
Ali in the
here we go to
70s
Cash.
was the same as Cassius Clay?
Guys improved.
Totally different.
Guys improved.
But his style's
Clay
different.
didn't want to get hit. Ali he wanted to prove that I could get hit, and you can't.
Well, he
hurt
couldn't
me.
dance no more
or he
either.
couldn't
Right.
move as well. Remember, he lost
Right.
those 3 years.
Yeah.
There would be no question of who was the greatest.
And he
if
had more
had those
fights
3
in him,
years. Right?
which
right.
wear and tear.
Well,
back then.
Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson lost 4 years because of the war. Nobody talks about that.
All right. Hey, listen, man. He was in some wars, man. You know,
Ali
fought in the 70s,
Norton
which was the greatest
broke his
heavyweight
jaw.
era.
And he also fought in the
Foreman.
60s, which was the
Foreman hit
easiest
him.
era.
How many times
Easiest
after the end
era.
of the fight, Ali just seemed like he was just exhausted.
Those wars with Joe Louis.
Even
those
Corey hit him
wars-
hard, and he was twice.
Who's that?
Jerry Corey could hit. And
Yeah,
he put some hits on.
Yeah.
I mean, we always talk about him fighting Cooper or whatever. I mean, if you look at the guys Ali fought, man, he fought some bangers back then.
Not in the
Shavers.
60s. He ain't fighting nobody in the 60s.
But Shavers and Foreman and Frazier
Yeah,
3
yeah,
times and
yeah.
Norton twice.
Yeah,
Twice.
Norton
And
broke his
Shavers.
jaw and just.
Oh,
ooh.
my God. Yeah, he
Those
fought.
were wars.
Jimmy Young
Those
was
were
tough.
wars.
All them guys were tough.
So where we at? Number 3.
Number 3, a guy who is underrated power-wise, a guy who had fantastic feet, fantastic hands, pretty to watch. I loved Sugar Ray Leonard. I think that and it's hard for me not to even put him higher than 3. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, yeah, Duran beat him, and then Norris, that was different, Camacho. But the Duran fight, because he fought him wrong. I don't see any. I think Sugar Ray could have beaten anybody. Again, when he fought Hearns, okay, Hearns was beating him pretty good, and Sugar Ray didn't dance or he was always considered like a pretty boy, but he had heart, and he went after them. And Donnie Lon, who fought him, said the same thing. He could hit even at that age. He could take a good punch. Donnie did knock him down, but he said the thing about Sugar Ray was he's probably the greatest finisher that Donnie saw. There's a few finishers. Tyson was a great finisher, Marciano, but Leonard was an unbelievable finisher. He had power. He had a chin, fantastic feet, great hands, was a showman. He was the perfect boxer, and I just absolutely loved Sugar Ray Leonard.
One of the greatest finishers ever seen was Oscar De La Hoya. He got you
Yeah,
hurt.
he definitely
yeah.
finished.
And he beat Floyd Mayweather.
There's a guy I don't have in my top 10.
He's not in mine either. Felix Trinidad, he had some good matches. That was a good one as well. Felix got him.
I don't remember that one.
Bernard punished him. I mean, he fought everybody. Oscar, his career.
He beat Floyd Mayweather. Would you agree, Claudia?
No, he didn't beat. Get out of here. He didn't beat Floyd. My number 3, I got Joe Louis, the brown bomber.
You got him twice on your list?
No, I didn't have him on my list. That was Claudia who had him on his list. He's my
You had
number
the
3.
first Joe Louis and the second Joe Louis.
Right. He's my number 3, Joe Louis. What can you say about this guy, man? Beat Max Smelling when people thought that guy was so great. He dominated the heavyweight division. It's a shame how his career ended. He had to keep fighting longer and longer. Out inside the ring, everything was great for him. He had
140 consecutive. He held the title for 140 consecutive months.
Yeah, I mean, he was a monster out there. I mean, he fought. I love the way he fight. He's my number 3.
And probably he had a lot of discipline because I know the hardest thing he ever had to do, he never took a picture with a white woman. I know that was hard on him.
Okay, look at you there. Number 2. Go ahead, Jim, just Texas.
Information you will only get here.
Yeah.
All right. Remember those MTV and all those? They had that pop-up.
Yeah,
They
Jim.
have information.
We gotta have a special box for Jim.
Right.
Look at Jim's fake news.
Fake news. Number 2 is Muhammad Ali. I mean, again, what can you say about him? The most important man for boxing. I think he was the most important man for his sport. Well, Jackie Robinson, obviously, but I mean, Muhammad really lifted the sport, and who I don't want to say he was I guess you could say he was an ambassador, whatever you want to say he was, but he promoted the sport, promoted the hell out of himself, and just fought wars, and his personality and everything. He was just again, some people he's got the nickname the greatest, and if somebody says he's the greatest, I'm certainly not going to argue about it.
Was a credit to his race.
Anyway, my number 2 is Sugar Ray Robinson, 179 wins. Sugar Ray was just a bad boy. You see his film, the way he moved.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just amazing, man. His losses, you got on him about his losses, but a lot of those came at the end of his career. He ended up with about 19 losses, which sounds like a lot.
Right.
But they used to fight so much. And then
Well,
by the
he
end
fought
of his
Jake
career,
LaMotta, and not to interrupt you, but Jake LaMotta, they were the wars. I mean, they beat the hell out of each other.
That's when they used
and they
to-
fought,
yeah.
I believe, was it 3 weeks later or something like that? I mean, they didn't have these rests.
Long, yeah,
and that's when he
months and
beat
months.
LaMotta in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. But I mean, it was like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Jake LaMotta said, I fought Sugar Ray Robinson so many times, it's a wonder I'd have diabetes. I mean, LaMotta said he was the greatest.
Exactly. Even Muhammad Ali said he was
Right.
the greatest.
Right. Leonard said it.
Yeah, a lot of guys said it.
Said who was Jake LaMotta?
Sugar Ray
Oh.
Robinson. He was just amazing out there. If you get a chance to look at some of the clips, the way he moved,
Well,
fought everybody, amazing.
a lot of people
fighter.
can't. 10 years of his greatest fights were lost on film footage. I think if people seen that, I think everybody would say Sugar Ray Robinson was the greatest of all time. And he, the one that took boxing, it used to be that the manager and the trainers talked. He was a guy that the night of the fight, you didn't know if he was coming out because if he didn't get the right amount of money, he wasn't fighting, and people knew that.
Did he ever take a picture with a white woman?
All the time.
You
With
know
the
his
mirror
real-
on the ceiling.
You know his real name wasn't Sugar Ray. It was
No.
Walker Smith Jr.
Well, he's from Detroit originally.
That
You get half your facts.
You going geography.
Well, that's what
I'm
it
just
was.
saying, his real name Walker Smith Jr.
Geography,
But
all
he's
right.
number 2 on my list, and I know your number 1
Well,
is.
speaking of geography, the Brockton blockbuster. I got to go with Rocky Marciano.
Of course.
5'8", 188. Okay, the shortest reach ever.
67
for heavyweight
inches.
Champion. Yep. Which is a super middleweight. 49-0. One thing about Rocky that I think it's just a myth that they make it sound like he got the hell knocked out of him, and then he would land one punch and it would be over. The only fights that he really took a beating were the first first Jersey Joe Walcott fight, where he did land the big home run punch to which camera am I at here? Okay. To win the championship September 23rd, what was it, 1953? And then when he fought Ezra Charles, that's when he split his nose, and the ref said,
Did they fight twice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something else. So he didn't get the hell knocked out of him, and then he just landed a home run. And that Ezra Charles fight, the second fight, I mean, again, I'm big on feet and athleticism, which Rocky never got credit for. He throws a right and he misses, and he takes he throws a right and he misses. He throws a left and he misses. He goes left, right, lands on his right foot, and he comes with a good right-hand shot. It was really pretty, but people don't want to give him credit. They made it sound like he was just some clumsy guy in the Rocky thing with putting string on his feet and chasing a chicken. You know, I'm not saying he was as athletic as a Muhammad Ali. Obviously, he was not. But he was a hell of a lot more athletic than they gave him credit for. And punching power-wise, he's the only guy that would crack foreheads and bust bones and shear teeth off. Yeah. And Don Cockle, he punched him so hard that his teeth went into his gums. And Rocky used to train, I think, like 100 rounds for a 15-round fight.
Yeah.
He was never out of shape.
Yeah.
Sure, he cut. All Italians cut easy, but that's just the way it is. All Mediterranean people do. And another thing about him was, like I said, only 5'8", you know. Now those guys weren't giants like they are now. But for my money, and again, he never lost. And the thing also about Rocky was his attitude. Now he loved Joe Louis, but the question was, if Joe Louis was younger, man, he'd have beaten Rocky. Rocky said, no, it'd have been an easier fight for me because Louis would have come after me. Okay, and with Ali, when they were doing that computer fight, at first Rocky didn't like him too much, and then they became very, very good friends, But he told Angela Dundee, he said, you know what, Ange? She said, you're right. He's a good kid, and I like him a lot. But in my prime, I'd have killed him. So, and even when Ali, they were told not to hit. They said, don't hit him in the face. But when he was hitting in the body, he said, damn, that guy really can hit. So Rocky was also crazy in the ring. He was crazy about money, and he was crazy about losing. And so just his determination, plus he had a hell of a chin. He had that right hand. Nobody beat him. He did fight some good fighters, and he busted a lot of them up, as I said. For my money, I don't see anybody ever.
But beat your arms down. You couldn't even hold your arms up about it later round.
All right, come on, stop playing. Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time. Listen, I'll put him on my list. He would have beat every heavyweight there is. He had every skill. You put together the perfect heavyweight, it was Muhammad Ali. He had the skill, he had the power, he had the movement. You know, he was the first guy, he was a heavyweight moving like a welterweight or middleweight. Nobody moved like Ali. Listen, listen, people thought he was going to die in there. He said he was great before he even knew it. Foreman, they said, people said he was going to die in the ring. He beat Foreman so bad he got him out of the ring, out of boxing, and preaching. That's how bad he beat George Foreman. Ali was a monster out there. He could get in your head, he'd talk it, he'd have you so lost in the press conferences. You lost before the fight even started, man.
Went to Sonny Liston's house.
Sonny Liston's house.
And Sonny Liston thought he was crazy.
Well, he might have been. I think any boxer who boxes has a little crazy in him. Right. You know what I mean? Except Anthony Joshua. But most of them do. But I think Muhammad Ali, there's no question, he would have beat everybody. He had the skill. He had everything you needed to go down Smoker Jim. You can't say he's not number one.
Well, I
dominated
would say,
the most dominant
I would say
70s. Dominated that era, Smoker Jim.
Muhammad Ali wasn't crazy because when his house got burned down the same day Malcolm X got killed.
Jim, stop with this fake stuff.
That showed he wasn't crazy. But I would say this, that Muhammad Ali could not beat Cassius Clay.
Oh, here we go with it's the same guy. I agree, he couldn't beat himself. Yeah, he couldn't beat himself. Yeah.
Well, let me ask Claudio.
Come on, Jim.
Cassius Clay was the athlete. Cassius Clay could throw punches.
But the older Muhammad was stronger.
Huh?
The older Muhammad was
the one that got beat by Leon Spinks, that one?
He gave that one. I think that was, he threw that fight. Huh? I think he threw that fight, in my opinion.
70s was a great era, man.
Leon Spinks was great?
No, it was a great era. You could get beat.
Huh?
I mean, those guys weren't coming out of that era undefeated.
A few months later, and
Muhammad Ali came back and got him.
Cassius Clay was so great, nobody thought he could take a punch because nobody could hit him.
He was quicker, no
He
question.
was quick,
He
couldn't
was
hit him.
younger then.
Huh?
He was-
That's what I'm
he was
saying. That's
younger
what,
then.
so you agree that Muhammad Ali couldn't beat Cassius Clay?
They're the
That's all
same
I'm
person.
saying.
I'm not agreeing they're different people. That's what I'm not agreeing. They're the same person. He was younger and could move. That's like saying the guys now, they could run faster when they first came into the league. LeBron James could jump higher when he was King James out of high school than he is now where he's getting hurt. I mean, he was younger. Of course, he was more athletic back then.
He could jump now, and he's jumping from team to team, so he's jumping better now.
Come on, Jim. It's the same guy. Guys get older and can't move like they used to be able to move,
Pulled in
man.
Anthony Davis.
That's my top 10. Real quick, Jim, I hope you could participate in this with a little bit, man. I mean, come on now. This is the next one we did. We did a current pound-for-pound list. All right, Jim, we same concept. I'm going to start off with your number 10. Do you have a number 10?
Well,
currently.
Can I just say the list that I do have? Can I just go over this list real quick?
What list is it, Jim?
It's just real quick. It won't take me but a minute.
All right.
Okay.
It just won't take me but a minute. And we're talking about
Greatest
greatest
name on there that I didn't bring up.
greatest
Okay, I
people that came back from a knockout. Max Melling knocking out Joe Louis in 1936. That's my number one. Number two, Joey Maxim stopping Sugar Ray Robinson in the 14th in 1952. Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson 1990 in the 10th round. Antonio Tarver over Roy Jones Jr. in the second round in
I didn't put Jones in that
2004.
list.
Oliver McCall knocking out Lennox Lewis, second round, 1994.
Greatest athlete.
Hakeem Rockman
Yeah.
knocking out Lennox Lewis, fifth round, 2001. You won it current. How about Iran Barkley knocking out Tommy Hearns in the third round, 1988? That's number 7. Number 8, Ray Mercer knocking out Tommy Morrison in the fifth round in 1991. How about this? Igomar Johansson knocking out Floyd Patterson, third round, 1959.
One of your favorites, huh?
One of my all-time favorites. And number 10A, fireman Jim Flynn knocking out Jack Dempsey in the first round. Only man to ever knock out Jack Dempsey. That's 1917, the same year Sonny Liston was born. How about 10B? 10B
Come on, man.
got to be Sugar Ray Leonard stopping Roberto Duran in the No Mas. Roberto Duran couldn't even go back to his home country because people
They busted
was
his
going.
house up.
Yeah, they busted his house, but he feared that he was going to get assassinated then. And how about Andy Ruiz, the Mexican butterbean who was born in California, over the greatest of all time,
disrespectful.
Anthony Joshua, and all these guys came back to
greatest
win
of all time.
championship.
So you did get a list, but you just chose to go your own route,
I
right?
did.
You the LeVar Ball, still just
Well,
going to do your own route,
this is the
right?
list for the show on Monday. Next Monday, I thought this was Steel City Sports World because I didn't get anything from anybody. And when I got sick, the only one that called was Claudio.
Oh, okay,
Thank
all
goodness for white friends.
The only one you pick up for, all right. Anyway, man, Jim went over to left field. Let's bring it back to currently best pound for pound. To number 10, who do you have?
I'm going to do what Jim does, 10A, 10B. And the winner of this fight is going to have sole possession of that. And I know you're not going to like it. I got number 10, Pacquiao Thurman. I'm not sure if
Okay.
I'm going to give it to Thurman because of his age. He's younger.
Pacquiao, 40 years old. If he loses to him, Thurman needs to retire, to me.
Pacquiao and Thurman fighting each other.
Yeah. Wow. Soon.
They announced it a month ago. Wow.
Yeah.
Just like that email I sent a month ago. Yeah.
But he just keeps popping up, and Thurman is starting to come back a little bit. I mean, he took some time off, but so I'm going to go 10A, 10B. Whoever wins that fight will be number 10.
Okay, I got Mikey Garcia, number 10.
Even
after that loss, he lost to a guy in the top 10, Errol
Old Stubby.
Spence. Listen, won a division four times, and he has a big fight coming up with Danny Garcia.
That'll
I
be
think
a
it's
good
going to be
fight.
another good
That's
fight.
a good fight.
You know, I just like his heart. I like guys who try to challenge better fighters, not these cherry pickers like a Tyson Fury and all these guys, Anthony Joshua, cherry picking. I like guys who go out and challenge themselves. Mikey Garcia said, I'm moving up to welterweight. And who's number 1? Errol Spence. I want him. He got punished. He got beat up, but at least he made that effort.
He didn't duck him.
He didn't duck him, and he stayed in there and took that punishment.
Well,
didn't go down.
He wanted the payday, and he paid for it, you know. And Spence was more than happy to fight a little man.
Nobody would fight Spence. He's trying to fight everybody. He's the boogeyman. Ortiz is the boogeyman at heavyweight. Spence is the boogeyman at welterweight. That's how I see it.
Is there any money in fighting Spence? I mean, he's never been out of Dallas,
I believe the pay-per-view got 500,000. That's the most it's been. That's the most pay-per-views in a while. 500,000.
500,000.
Pay-per-view has not been. There's been
it's
no more
usually
$1 million
because he fought a
pay-per-views.
Mexican. That's 500,000 Mexicans tuned into that.
There you go. Here we
All
go.
of them got on it.
Oh, here we go.
50,000 of them got on one stick.
All right, Donald Trump. Stop. Let's go, Claudia.
You don't
got
think
the number
Mexicans love fighting boxing?
Okay, yeah. A lot of people love boxing. Smoking Joe.
Call
Claudia,
salsa.
who you got for number
Call
9?
salsa.
Alexander Usyk, the
Salsa.
cruiserweight, who shouldn't go to heavyweight. He's going to dominate the cruiserweight division for quite a few years.
like
He can
him.
hit
Good job.
moves, but if he goes up to heavyweight, it won't
He's
be pretty.
going.
I know. I don't like it, but he should stay. Like what Jim said, Moore did do it, but you said if he just stayed
At light
heavyweight, he would have been the Joe Louis of the light heavyweight division. I know the money isn't there for the cruiser.
25 and
but
0
also
25 knockouts, Michael Moore.
Yeah. But I understand the money isn't there at the cruisers, but neither is the beating. Mm-hmm. You know. So, but I have him number 9.
Okay, who you get? Alexander Usyk?
Yes.
All right. I actually have him as number 9 as well. Okay. You know, you guys got on my list before. You know, he unified the cruiserweight.
You know how to peek at Claudio's list, don't you?
No, he had him before.
I had him before, and you guys got on me,
Right.
and Claudio did some research.
I had
Unlike
him
you,
too. I had him
unlike
too
you,
the last time we
no,
did it.
you did not have him on
I
the
needed
list.
more white people on my list. So I said I got to put him.
No,
on.
anybody who
undefeated.
unifies the division, I
Yeah,
give them
yeah.
more credit.
But do you agree he should stay there?
I think he should stay there. I think he's going to get his brains knocked out at heavyweight.
By who?
Wilder for
Anybody,
one.
anybody.
By Fury for one.
Chris
Those
Arreola.
guys- Chris Arreola. Dominic Brazil.
I don't know about Dominic Brazil.
Anybody, well, maybe Tom
Yeah, I know.
Schwartz. He could definitely destroy Tom Schwartz.
I had him
That
in my
bum.
top 10 heavyweights of all time.
All right, number 9. You guys, who do you have in this list?
I don't want to
Anybody?
leave nobody out.
Okay.
I want my daddy's records. Remember that? That's what he's I want my daddy's
Right,
records.
right.
Okay. Number 8, again, Luther's going to get mad at me. Sean Porter.
Oh,
I just think that guy comes in the fight. I like him. I think he's a little more skilled than people give him credit for.
Wow.
And I got him number 8.
You know what? I give it to you. You called him against Danny Garcia. I thought Danny Garcia was going to
Kill him.
I thought he was going to get him, but Sean Porter, that's okay. This year he's going to fight Errol Spence, and he will get knocked out for the first time, in my opinion.
Yeah. But he's going to fight him.
He's going to fight him. I like his heart. He always is in there. Errol Spence is going to get head-butted about 8 times during that fight before
Yeah, right.
he knocks him down.
Right.
But he makes it ugly. My number 8 is Regis Prograis, WBA
you do
super
like
lightweight
him, yeah.
champion. I like that guy. You know, 24-0, 20 knockouts. He's fast in the ring. And, you know, they're having that tournament. I think he comes out. He beats Josh Taylor. And he's my number 8 heavyweight at this time. Very tough
What's the
fighter.
tournament? Tomorrow's champions? What
No, they're
tournament?
having a super series, a lightweight super series.
Is Spence fighting Triple G anytime soon? No.
Why would he jump up 20 pounds?
I don't know
It's
why.
the triple
He don't mind. He don't mind somebody else jumping up
Did
20
Triple G
pounds.
jump up and fight Andre Ward? No. Triple
Andre
G?
Ward quit.
No, I'm saying when they wanted him to fight Andre Ward, he would not move.
All Andre Ward doing now is sitting back talking.
Triple G has
You
one of
think
the
he'll
most
come back and win
overrated
heavy?
records.
Do you think he'll come back and fight heavy, like you said? You still think he'll do that?
Ward?
No, he's
Yeah,
not.
so-
They were talking about it the other
Soon-
night. He didn't answer, though.
He
He'll
soon as
get-
he
think
he'll
he's
get- he'll get-
crazy.
yeah,
give
he'll
him
get
a little
destroyed.
bit. Let him get a little hungrier.
Yeah.
Let him get $500,000 worth of jewelry stolen, and he'll come back.
Leave Bell alone, man. All right, who you have for number 7 here?
Big Baby Miller.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I got Lomachenko at number 7.
Okay.
Would you have been mad if I said Big Baby?
Oh, gosh, yeah, we would have had to end the show. I have Jermell Charlo. I don't think these guys get enough credit. He's a middleweight. Triple G is ducking him. You also have Canelo Alvarez ducking him.
You think he's ducking him because the lack of money or lack of getting?
They don't want to get beat because they know facing
who?
Jermell Charlo.
Guys
Charlo
you
could
like.
beat Alvarez and he could beat Triple G and Demetrius Andre.
I don't like
all of those
I
guys.
don't like black blondes.
All I know is he
I
can
don't
fight.
know about that.
All I know he can fight. I've seen some of your models, Smoking Jim. So there you go. All right, and number 6, who do you have?
Well, can I get
can you
my
jump
list
in?
Yeah,
Well,
let me
I don't
jump
know
in.
what you want. You act like you don't have your list.
Okay, number 10, Earl Spence. Number 9, Deontay Wilder. Number 8, Tyson Fury. Number 7, Triple G.
Triple G. All right, good. So Jim is back in the game. So he did get the list somewhere in that notepad. He found it. All right, how about number 6? Why don't you, since you're on a roll, Smoker Jim, you got
Momentum.
Yeah, you got your study guide. Now come on, let's go with number 6.
Caleb Plant.
Caleb Plant, one of my favorite fighters. Didn't make my top 10 list.
I was
but he's one of my
wondering if you were
favorite.
going to put him up there. Yeah.
He's one of my favorite. I don't know if he has enough power.
Well, he hasn't done enough yet to put him that
Right.
high up. But he's nice. He's good. He's tough.
His story is great.
I like him.
And he's fighting with a lot of heart. His mom just got shot by the police. He lost a
Oh,
daughter.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was murdered by the police. And then he lost a daughter like a year ago. So he has a lot he's fighting for.
Caleb
man.
Plant, he ain't black, is he?
No, he's not black. All right, so, Claudia, where are you at number 6?
I did think you were going to have him on your list, but not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. I got to
Soon,
see a little more.
Where we at? Number 6? Triple G.
Triple G.
Yeah. He had a nice fight. He busted that guy up. What was his name?
Steve Rolls.
He rolls, yeah. But you know what, though? Again,
Oh,
he did what he was supposed to do.
Another tomato can.
He did what he was supposed to do against him. And so I got him at 6.
I despise Triple G.
You never
With
liked him?
The way he cherry picks these fighters. There's never been a heavyweight that got so much credit for fighting bums.
Because nobody will fight him.
Everybody wants to fight him. Demetrius.
Not
Yeah.
Spence.
Everybody, yeah, because he's 20 pounds lighter. Nobody's scared of Triple. If you look at that fight, Steve Rose hit him a number of
Yeah, he
times.
did.
He just was a
Who's the
single
guy
But
fighter.
then,
Who's the
then
guy-
he turned it up and he got him.
Who's
The
the guy fighting Pacquiao? What's his name?
Keith Thurman.
Keith Thurman. When he was in the hospital, Spence went and challenged him.
Spence challenged him from the very beginning.
Yeah, he in the hospital.
He was
Doctor said he may never.
Listen, he was
He may never fight.
Thurman was ducking him since he called him out.
He sat out a while.
Yeah, he was like, oh,
Hey,
Spence
He was on
is
injured
in?
reserve for
Yeah.
quite a while.
Hey, did you guys hear on my way over? Spence challenged J.F. Judah.
So, all right. My number 6 is Vasily Lomachenko. Yeah, I like the way he moves. Again, only like 14
Comes in
wins,
shape.
and he did have that early loss.
You pronounce names good.
But I think he's number 6. I still would like to see the competition get a little better for him. I want to see him fight a Tank Davis, Leah Santa Cruz, and a Teofimo Lopez.
But why isn't he
wanna
doing
see
it now?
that fight.
I mean,
He's
how
an
many
older
more
guy.
fights?
Right, he's an
Yeah,
older
yeah.
guy. He fought in amateurs like Jim likes for 50
I know what's
years.
waiting for you to say that.
What is he, a 5-time Olympian? And then finally turned pro at 30? It's time for him to get those big fights,
he's gotta
challenge
jump,
himself.
yeah.
He's starting to get injured. Every time he fights, he's hurting his shoulder. I want to see him get in there with somebody. How about number 5, Jim? You up to date? Where we at number 5?
Callum Smith.
Oh, wow. Jim is going
Doing his
off
homework.
Yeah, okay. I don't know about that one.
You don't? You will in about another year.
Listen, he's a big guy. He's going to eat himself out of that weight class is what he's about to do. He's a big guy, but I think he has to move up. But all right, you have for number 5.
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury.
Yeah. He's good for the sport.
I should have had him higher.
I've been tough on him, but I
still
got to give him
tough
some
on him.
credit. You know, the Wilder fight, he doesn't have the greatest chin, but he can get up. He's got great recuperative powers, that's for sure.
I predicted that.
6'9", you would think that you could knock a wall down, but well, he knocked this guy out the other day, but he wasn't anything. He busted him up.
Tom
But yeah,
Schwartz.
you can't base anything on that. But
Well,
I like
ESPN
his
did.
movement. Well, I like his head movement for a heavyweight. I don't remember besides Ali. I'm trying to think of early Tyson. But who moves their head as much as really his whole body? But the guy didn't. He tried to headhunt. He's 6'9", hit him in the body.
Exactly.
You know.
He doesn't do well with
That's
those
where
body
Marciano would have
shots.
busted his ribs up. But anyway, speaking of that, I got Fury, and I think he's going to. real quick, I know Luther was upset, and everybody's upset that he fought this Tom Schwartz guy. But we're looking at it from a fan standpoint, okay? Fury's looking at it, and Aram's looking at it from a business standpoint. You know what? And I'm okay with that. I know that in the 70s, when we grew up, everybody fought each other. Like we talk about Duran, Hearns, Leonard, Hagler, they fought each other twice, 3 times, whatever. These guys aren't going to do that. These guys fight twice a year.
Except Wilder.
Yeah, he wants to fight these guys. They'll fight twice a year. It's all about money. And you know what? I'm fine with that, to be honest with you, because I do things about money. They say, oh, you do it for free. The hell I would. This show, I get paid for this show, too, somehow or another.
You get paid well.
Or another. But again, I know I'd like to see them fight each other, but I understand why they don't. I know we criticize them, but I understand why they don't. But anyway, number 5, Tyson Fury.
Aram's about 100 right now.
And I know he wants to squeeze every.
He's still going.
How much old is he?
I think he's 92. I think he's 92.
I know him and Don King's the same age, I believe.
Don King, and he lost. He's still getting sued by fighters.
But
and he hasn't promoted.
I'm glad you guys are on board with Tyson Fury. I've been telling you about him for a while.
I am not on board with Tyson Fury. Yes, he's one of the top heavyweights going, but all this lineal championship acting like it's some kind of belt. Listen, he's moving like a guy who lost a fight. Back in the day, you fought somebody, it was close, a draw, you immediately rematched them.
But it's a business. They're looking at it as a business.
What did he do? He cherry-picked a bum, a couple tune-up fights. What does that tell you? He knows in his heart that he lost that fight. He ended up on his back. It should have been stopped. The referee gave a long count. Anytime you see a fighter laid out, eyes roll up in the head, the referee immediately stops it. They don't get on their knees praying and counting over them like that referee did.
I know what you're saying, Luth.
Like when Cassius Clay got floored by Henry Cooper and Angelo Dundee split the glove.
Stop slandering the
you
legend.
Mean that, like
stop
that,
slandering the legend.
The head rolling, eyes rolling in the back of your head, like
Fury,
that.
Fury looked in worse shape.
But if you were Fury,
I didn't know if he was alive with the way he hit that ground.
Would you want to make I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers, like $20 million against Wilder and have a chance to get your head knocked off, or 12.5 against a guy he knew damn well he was going to have an easy night with?
He's moving like a guy that lost a fight.
I don't think it was. I don't think he looked at it like that.
And he's
I think he looked at it as a business move. I really do.
He's going to fight Wilder again.
He ducked him.
Yeah,
I don't believe it. They asked him all to fight. He never said he was fighting Wilder next.
No, not next. Miller,
Big Baby.
I seen him
trying to age him out.
No, they both got one more fight. Wilder's fighting some Ortiz.
I don't believe he's going to fight him again. He never fought Klitschko in a rematch, and he ducked Wilder.
Klitschko retired.
No, Klitschko came back and fought Anthony Joshua.
Right.
That's what it was supposed to be, another rematch, but Fury went.
He was doing cocaine then.
Cocaine, PEDs as well. He also tested dirty for that. He was doing everything. Yes, all of that. It doesn't get brought up, but he definitely tested, and it's all in the paperwork, Smoking Jim.
Who you have for 5?
I already had mine.
Oh, you got your list.
And the guy I despise, Triple G is my number 5. Despise that guy, but I still have him in my top 5. I hope he fights a real competition next.
Canelo?
Demetrius Andrade. I don't think he should get that fight against Canelo already. I think he needs to get another fight in there with somebody like a Charlo and then get that fight, that big money fight. But that's my opinion. Number 4, speaking of Canelo, I have Canelo Alvarez. He's the only guy I have on that list who's a known PED user and got tested positive 2 years ago. But I do have him in there because that was his only test. I'll give him another chance. But, he's done everything he needed to do, unified the titles at a number of divisions, destroyed Amir Khan's career.
He's fighting again.
He's
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. He needs to
make
retire.
some money.
I don't know. Who you have for number 4?
I have Canelo. And he's the one that him and Fury I've been tough on, but I'm better with Fury right now. Canelo, I'm a little bit better with him. I still go back to that Mayweather fight. I still don't see the big deal that they're making about him. I mean, he's a nice fighter. He's a good fighter. In a way, I kind of think I have him a little bit too high, but I'm cutting him a break. I'm still not totally sold on him. But I have him number 4.
Okay. Jim, who you have in number 4?
Just real quick. Henry Cooper, Doug Jones, Charlie Powell, Billy Daniels, and Sonny Banks are all guys. All they fought the year before he fought Sonny Liston, Cassius Clay. But anyhow, Number 4 is Terrence Crawford.
Ooh, you got him low.
That's
Why do you have him so low?
wow.
Number 4.
Yeah, number 4. Why is that? I love him.
Okay, I'd like to see you have.
I got him higher than Spence. That's all that matters.
Okay.
And Triple G.
Okay.
So that ain't bad.
Wow.
Pound for
Okay.
pound.
Now who you have for number 3?
I have Spence.
Oh, you do have
I have
Errol Spence
Errol
number
Spence.
3.
Oh, no, you ain't jump on him for having him number 3.
I think both of you guys are way too low with who you have down there. My number 3 is Deontay Wilder. Most powerful puncher in boxing. Dynamite in his right hand. He showed he has a jaw, a chin, and he has the heart.
His heart.
He's going to end his career 50-0. He'll be the lineal champion if Fury or anybody else fights him. Man, that power.
He's not
is
going to end up
unbelievable.
undefeated, but
He will end up undefeated. I think he's going to be 50-0 and retire.
Well, next time
He's finally making the
well, you
big
figure
bucks.
he's got 41.
40.
He's got 9 more to go, so that's going to be another
Yeah,
3-4 years. You think
Possibly.
he'll do
Yeah,
it?
let's see.
He's how old is he? 34.
34.
36.
I think he's 34, 33, 34.
Well, next
But the
time,
power's the last thing that goes.
Right.
well, next time I go to Alabama, I get him to show me how to make some grits. Because he never leaves. I'm sure I'll bump into him down there. He never leaves the state.
Over 40 knockouts. Everybody who gets in the ring gets put on their back. That knockout percentage is the highest ever in the history of boxing.
It'll even out soon.
And how's it going to even out?
He got to start fighting some people now.
Luis Ortiz, Tyson
who-
Fury.
There wasn't Louis Ortiz on something?
Hey, listen, who else has fought him?
Huh?
Who else has fought him? Everybody else has ducked
This
him.
guy floated
just saying.
from Cuba.
Tyson Fury, who people were saying number 1, put him on his back. All right, number 2, who do you have, Claudio?
Deontay Wilder, he can win any fight in one shot. I mean, he's got a big punch, as Lucas said, he's got heart, got a good chin.
If he got hard, tell him to go to the Dominican Republic.
Top 3 all time. Top 3 all time.
Show me some heart.
Who's number 2?
But
Jim?
I got Deontay Wilder.
Number 2, no, I didn't get my number 3 yet.
Okay.
Oh,
My number 3 is Billy Joe Saunders.
Oh, wow, another PED.
He likes
you
the
like
guys,
those PED. You like those PED cheats.
Well, he's skilled,
He is skilled, but I'd like to see him face some tougher competition.
Right.
Though. That's what I'm waiting
and
for.
that's when he was doing it. That's when he was doing that.
Right. He was about to face a stiffer competition, then he got popped. So, I mean, that's what a real deal, just like Big Baby. He was about to face an Anthony Joshua. He got
A little
popped,
insecure.
shooting everything. They found
Again.
every
Everything.
steroid known to man was in his system. And now he's going to fight Tyson Fury next.
He was eating like crazy, but he was cut. He was look good. I mean,
Is he
somewhat
still,
cut.
Is
Somewhat
he
cut.
still sleeping with Wilder's girl? Big Baby?
Here you go,
That's that
Jim.
pop-up.
There you go with the fake news. Jim, who do you have for number, where are we at? Number 2.
Canelo Alvarez.
Hello, Alvarez. All right.
All right.
We talked about
That
him
was
a
your
little
boy.
earlier.
You always liked him.
Always liked him. And everybody else would like him if he didn't have red hair.
Well, I don't know what that has to do with it. All right. Who do you have number 2, Claudio?
I had Wilder.
Wilder.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Terrence Bud Crawford. Definitely one of the best. He unified the light welterweight, and now he's up to the welterweight with the big boys. I can't wait for the Errol Spence Bud Crawford fight.
they call him
Errol
Bud?
Spence is going to get him, but it'll be a good fight. Terrence Crawford likes to trade. He has all the skills, but he's just not big enough for Errol Spence.
Why they call him Bud?
Spence.
Young people, when they say Bud, that means marijuana. Why they call him Bud?
I never heard of
I have
that.
no idea. I think that's a
I never
child-
heard of that.
That's a childhood
Yeah.
nickname that
If
grew
they
up
do
with him.
fight, where do you think it'll be?
Man,
Dallas.
I hope it's in Dallas.
Well, that's where the big money's going to be, but then
And
that's kind of his
also
backyard.
expense. Hey, you want to beat a man, you got to beat the man.
Well, your boy from Oklahoma said that's right by Dallas.
That's not too far.
Only a
nobody-
a tornado away.
We know for sure it's not going to be in Oklahoma. That's one thing we do know.
No.
Or it might that'll probably be in Vegas, because I don't know if Crawford would want to go to his hometown.
Well, you're right, though. It is going to be a big time. It'd be a hell of a lot more money.
Yeah.
Pack that place. My number 1 is for pound, again, Rocky Marciano. I know he's not fighting, but I'm putting Rocky
In the
Marciano
grave.
down. I'm
Pull him
putting
out of the
Rocky
grave
Marciano-
and
no.
with it.
My number 1 is Terrence Crawford. Although, if he did fight Spence, boy, I mean, that's nip and tuck. I mean, I would pick Crawford, but boy, that would be
Where you have Spence on your list?
3.
And who's your number 1?
Terrence Crawford.
Terrence Crawford.
Who's your number one, Smoking Jim?
My number one is Anthony Joshua.
Still?
Chill.
No,
okay.
it's not.
Chill. For real. Your number one is still Anthony.
After he lost to Ruiz.
After we
Well,
went
you
down.
got you.
He
got
went down a record.
Wilder fought for a draw. You
Yeah, but he
got
fought
him.
somebody.
He didn't go down 5 times. Huh? He went down
And he
5
got up
times
and was
got
happy about
embarrassed. My number one is Errol Spence. The truth. 25-0, 21 knockouts. He's the only guy who beat another top 10 guy on this list. Listen, I think you guys are sleeping. Errol Spence.
No, he's big time.
He punished Floyd Mayweather in a sparring session. He is amazing. Him and Wilder are going to carry boxing to the next level. I can't wait till he destroys Terrence Crawford. That fight will be 11 rounds of pure hell, and Crawford goes down in 11 because he's going to try to trade with Errol Spence. He
will try to trade.
We've seen Terrence Crawford hurt plenty of times, but he's never been hurt from Errol Spence. Errol Spence is going to put it on him. It'll be a great fight, though, while it lasts.
We had on here the top 10 heavyweights. There is no top 10 heavyweights. But I'm just curious. You know, you're my boy. But how can you still say
That's
Anthony
unacceptable.
Joshua? Forget about his amateur career.
No Olympics
Okay.
talk.
Did you think he was going to lose to Ruiz?
No.
I wouldn't
We
think I wouldn't think that he could lose to anybody in the history of boxing. But I mean, people get
If
beat.
Ruiz beat him,
People get beat.
all these guys
Sugar
that we
Ray
had,
Robinson had 19.
Foreman
Sugar Ray
would have killed him.
Robinson had
Marciano would have
19
killed him.
19
Ruiz
losses.
was brought in
Frazier
to
would have
lose.
killed him.
Huh?
Ken
He
Norton
had
would
a
have beat
short
him.
camp and beat him.
Holmes would have killed him.
Listen, he
Cooney
got
would have killed
exposed, Jim.
Ernie
He got
Shavers would have killed him.
exposed
Ernie
as a
Shavers.
super champion.
Who else
Sugar
in
Ray
there?
Robinson get exposed with 19 losses.
Listen, most of those came
But-
at the end of his
but
career,
that's
and he
good
fought better
fighters.
fighters.
Did Joe Louis get
They brought
exposed
Ruiz
against
in there
Max
to lose.
Better
Smelling?
fighter. Smelling was good.
Smelling was
Eddie
good.
Ruiz. Oh, he was
Joe
good.
Louis almost killed him in the first round next time they fought.
Yeah, but he beat him the first. But Smelling was better. than-
Hitler almost killed him after that. They pulled the plug on that
I mean,
fight,
it has
man.
nothing to do with his body. I give Ruiz credit. He came after him. He didn't do what a lot of
Jack
challengers
Dempsey
did.
was the toughest SOB to ever put on gloves, and he got knocked out in the first round by a fireman, Flynn.
You can't have Jim.
Jack
you can't
Dempsey
have
was never got
Anthony
knocked
Joshua on the list.
out before.
He doesn't even think he's a number one guy on the list. He was
don't
glad
wanna
to
be.
lose.
Yeah,
I've
I
never
know,
seen
I
a
know.
heavyweight champion.
I'm telling
The
you.
guy took your belt. He got his hand on him. He did
he's
great.
a gentleman. That's how they do
He
in that
doesn't
country.
have it. He's
Huh?
a paper champion
ahead.
with
I'm
a
waiting.
paper jaw.
Well, you.
That's fact.
Remember-
He got proved.
Oh, man.
He went
Every
down
fight he
4
goes-
times.
Every time he fights somebody, he gets shook.
All right, hey, we only
Some-
got 30
yeah.
times left. For Smoker Jim, Claudio, I'm Luther Dupree. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's our top 10. We're going to start pushing that hard out here. Make sure you check out the website, SCSportsWorld.com. Peace.